was a code. It was the first item of business, I think, that was placed upon the county to rewrite the code. In doing that, there was a review to be had every 5 years on the different zoning parcels in the county. That review was done, I think, in 2007, 2008. And at that time, there was a committee formed made up of members of the council and planning commission and citizens to make recommendations. Those recommendations was made, and I think nearly all of them acted upon, except for the one in the Northfields. The recommendation at the time, and Kimberly, you can correct me if I'm wrong, was that the Northfields at that time from this committee be rezoned to a 10-acre area. That was, I guess, we kind of set on that a little bit. Went to the planning staff, and we didn't act on that at the time. Over the next period of time, we've had separate landowners and separate individuals approach members of the council asking when we would rehear this again. Members have approached me for probably the past 2 or 3 years, wondering when. We talked about it last year, kind of didn't act again. So as they approached us this year, we talked about this in June, as is required by the code, to list these items in June. That gives a period of time for people to have comment, and then they need acted on by the end of November per code. So that's kind of what gets us here tonight for this rezone discussion. We do have a timer over here. What we're going to do is allow you to speak as you get up for 3 minutes. She will hold up a card at the 1 minute mark. Is that what we're going to do? Yeah. 1 minute mark and the 30-minute or 30-second mark, not 30-second mark. And so if you'd conclude your comments within that time frame, it'd be appreciated. We think we have a lot of people that would like to speak. We do have all the comments that was made in the Planning Commission meeting. We have reviewed them. We have one written response from Robert McDonald, who was not able to be here. He's asked that that be a part of the record. I think all council members have that. We will forward that to Rick. I don't feel compelled to read that tonight. It is similar to his comments that was made in the Planning Commission, so we'll just forward that comment to Rick for part of the record. So I think with that, what we will do is, number one, first off, Doug, we're going to have Doug give a presentation. On the presentation, we'll take questions from the council on the presentation, and then after that, I will open it for public comment. So Doug, if you would, I hope everyone knows Doug Smith. He's our planning director and the coordinator of the planning office, and puts in a lot of long hours. So Doug, thank you. Have you go forward.
Okay, sorry for everybody that was here for Planning Commission. I haven't been able to make this any more exciting. Same presentation. The proposal is to rezone the property known as the Northfields. And the boundaries for that are on the south side, Midway Lane, Highway 40 on the east, and the mitigation property on the west. On the north part of the property, it's the intersection of River Road and Highway 40, except for the 40-acre piece on the very north. It's part of the North Village. As Jay mentioned, this is a county-initiated rezone, and just so people that weren't here for the Planning Commission meeting, what we use to determine whether rezones should be approved or denied, or how they're considered, is the language that's in the general plan. And Jay referred to the general plan that is typically updated on a 5-year basis. Now, the land use element of the general plan was updated in 2008. Last year, we updated other elements of the general plan, the transportation element, the affordable housing element, and a number of other elements of the general plan. So in the general plan, it has various land use designations that are geographically located throughout the county. And it'll have recommendations for every land use area in the county. For example, what we'll be talking about tonight is the central planning area. And in the general plan, it says in the central planning area that there should be a rural buffer between Heber and Midway. When you go from the general plan into the zoning ordinance will set the standard on how that rural green space area between Heber and Midway, how that's obtained. For example, right now it's an A20 zone, and I think that's what was designated or determined would keep that green area buffer between Heber and Midway. So, the general plan has very general guidelines. The zoning ordinance has the specific ways that that general plan is implemented. Hope that makes sense. But I'll be using the general plan as a lot of my language tonight. So the review for rezones is, like I said, based on language in the general plan and other applicable code sections. Following the general plan is mandatory. So if something does not comply with what's stated in the general plan should be updated or amended. The Planning Commission and County Legislative Body hold public hearings, and the Planning Commission met regarding this last Thursday. And so they made, well, I'll get to that, but it was a 3-2 vote, and the bylaws of the Planning Commission require a four-member vote to forward something to the council. So really it comes to this body with a no recommendation. 2 members of the Planning Commission recused themselves, and then it was a 3-2 split vote after that. So the Planning Commission legislative body hold a public hearing. It must be shown that such amendment is in the interest of the public and is consistent with the goals and policies of the Wasatch County General Plan. Sorry, no way. This is the motion by the Planning Commission, and there was a report of action that is in the County Council's packets that has every person that commented at the Planning Commission meeting. It wasn't verbatim what they said, but I think we got the gist of what was commented on from each person. As I mentioned, the general plan element that we're looking at tonight is a land use element, and it's the central planning area. The central planning area is about 6,000 acres, and it runs from the Jordanelle Dam to Charleston, and includes the whole Northfields. Everything that's in this presentation is taken directly out of the general plan, and I feel my job is to give apolitical representation of what the code is, and everything is a direct quote out of the general plan, and these maps are currently maps that are part of the general plan. So the first map is a groundwater and wetlands map. You can see the wetlands area that are hatched. Now these are not delineated wetlands. These are done off of a national wetlands inventory by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. So it's a little different than when the Army Corps goes out and does a delineation on wetlands. These are, I don't want to say best guess because I think it's a little better than that, but they're not specific delineated wetlands.